watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister Hun Manet pledged his support and encouragement of the Chinese construction companies that built the new Siem Reap Angkor International Airport to expand their investment in Siem Reap so that the province can become a multi-purpose development pole for Cambodia. The Prime Minister met with China's Yunnan Province Governor Wang Yubo today in celebration of the official inauguration of the new Siem Reap Airport. Yunnan is home to the 3 state-owned companies who have invested in Cambodia and made the airport a reality. The Prime Minister said it was a historic day for Siem Reap and Cambodia, with another new achievement emerging as a symbol of modern development and cultural preservation. He noted the new airport as the fruit of good cooperation between Cambodia and China. He thanked Yunnan Province for its trust in Cambodian investment, especially in the construction of the international airport, which the companies will own and operate for 55 years before it belongs to Cambodia under the signed Buy, Operate, Trade Agreement. Prime Minister Hun Manet went on to praise the achievements of China's Belt and Road Initiative within Cambodia, which saw loans develop the Phnom Penh-Sihanoukville Expressway, the Sihanoukville Special Economic Zone, the Siem Reap Angkor International Airport, and the Phnom Penh-Bavat Expressway, which is currently under construction. Governor Wang Yubo expressed his belief that under the leadership of Prime Minister Hun Manet, Cambodia will be more prosperous and Chinese-Cambodian cooperation will be closer, stronger, and long-lasting. The Prime Minister said that 2024, in addition to being the year of Cambodia-Chinese friendship, would also be the year of tourism revival for Cambodia. He said his government is implementing various policies to welcome tourists from neighboring countries, in addition to the many attractions coming to Siem Reap to attract tourists. He also urged the airport authorities to implement electronic forms for tourists by the end of the year to facilitate easy travel. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister Hun Manet presided over the inauguration ceremony of the Siem Reap Angkor International Airport today, where Cambodian and Chinese officials gathered to celebrate the large airport and express hope for the recovery of tourism within Cambodia. Siem Reap Angkor International Airport is located 41 kilometers from Angkor Wat and just over 50 kilometers from Siem Reap, a distance which preserves the ancient archaeological site and its surroundings. Minister in charge of the Secretariat of State for Civil Aviation, Mao Havanal, hopes that the new airport will be able to attract domestic and international tourists, as well as more airlines, especially from China. Currently, there are only 34 regular flights serviced through Siem Reap, which is 32% of the capacity the city was receiving in 2019, before COVID. Mao Havanal said he hopes the aviation sector will bounce back soon. Governor of China's Yunnan Province, Wang Yubo, said that the new airport has paved the way for economic and trade cooperation between China and Cambodia, and that it brings the two countries together to build a better future by promoting China's Belt and Road Initiative. Speaking at the inauguration, Prime Minister Hun Manet said that the inauguration of a modern airport with access to a large number of aircraft is an achievement not only for the present, but also prepares for the future. He urged the airport's managing staff to provide excellent hospitality so that tourists leave with fond memories.
ត្រូវធ្វើយ៉ាងណាឲ្យការងារទាំងអស់រួមទាំងការងារបដិសណ្ឋារកិច្ចការងារផ្ដល់សេវាផ្សេងៗទាំងសេវានៅខាងក្រៅ air side នៅខាងក្នុងខាង passenger side ឲ្យយើងមិនឲ្យជាកន្លែងមួយដែលថាអ្នកដំណើរឆ្លងកាត់មានអនុស្សាវរីយ៍ល្អហើយជាពលានយន្តហោះមួយដែលមានគេថាការទទួលផ្ដល់សេវាឬភាពកក់ក្ដៅ
Construction of Siem Reap Angkor International Airport began in March 2020 with an investment of approximately $1.1 billion through a Buy, Operate, Trade investment. This means that the Chinese companies that built the airport will own and operate it for 55 years before it belongs to Cambodia. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Cambodia's National Assembly met today to approve the draft budget for 2024, paving the way for the government to spend nearly $10 billion next year on a range of public services. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the story.
The Finance Law of 2024 aims to further strengthen peace, political stability, security, and public order by ensuring macroeconomic and public financial stability. It also promotes the development of health systems, social protection systems, salary increases for civil servants and those armed forces. It will also provide allowances to regional administration staff based on merit to improve living standards and strengthen the institutional capacity and quality of public services. The National Assembly went through each aspect of the proposal budget and raised questions and inquiries to the government representative, who defended the draft budget in accordance with procedures. Ultimately, the budget was unanimously approved by the National Assembly. The draft law was proposed and approved by the Council of Ministers on October 27 before arriving at the National Assembly. In 2024, Cambodia plans to spend about 37 trillion real, equivalent to more than $9.2 billion US dollars. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports has announced new school standards for the next academic year in an effort to improve the quality of education in Cambodia. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
In an announcement dated November 14, 2023, Minister of Education, Hang Chun-naron, said that the standard school module will be implemented for kindergarten through the high school and will focus on school governance, curricula, extracurricular activities, student health, and parent involvement. He said the model schools will achieve 5 standards, including student achievement standards, teaching and learning standard, community participation, operational standards and administration, and school accountability. A campaign for clean schools will also be launched, a model schools receiving a Prime Minister Hun Manet Model School Award. The goal of standards is to strengthen knowledge, discipline, ethics, and student behaviour, in addition to care for student health and the environment of parents, guardians, and the community in education. They will begin to be implemented on December 1st, 2023, and will be up for review in September 2024. Speaking at this year's Teachers' Day on October 5th, Prime Minister Hun Manet announced that under his leadership, improving the quality of education is important to his administration and promised to elevate public schools to a high-quality education. He underlined the importance of K through to 12 education to developing a society with quality human resources. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. A deputy director of the Anti-Drug Crime Department and 4 accomplices have been arrested in drug-related extortion cases involving tens of thousands of dollars. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the details.
A spokesperson for the Phnom Penh Municipal Prosecutor's Office said that 5 people suspended of pursuing victims on the public roads were taken into custody. The prosecutor's office said that the suspects were arrested following a victim's complaint for legal proceedings. The court charged the suspects with unlawful arrest and detention with aggravating circumstances, primarily extortion. A preliminary investigation alleged that the deputy director and his accomplices have been arresting foreigners on the drug charges, then demanding $10,000 for the release of each individual. Following a third incident, Chinese nationals filed a complaint to the Ministry of Interior, who then opened the investigation. A spokesperson for the Phnom Penh Municipal Court stated that based on the results of the initial investigation, the court has requested an investigating judge to handle 7 suspects, 2 of them who are still on the run. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Officials in Siem Reap are receiving training on the right to justice for persons with disabilities within the justice system, with the support of the Ministry of Social Affairs and the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, or OHCHR, this week. Secretary of State Aim Chan Makara made opening remarks at the training course, stressing the need for certain guaranteed freedoms for persons with disabilities that allow them to participate fully in society without discrimination. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the story.
Today's training session was attended by OHCHR representative of Cambodia, Roy Ada Al-Haj, and Siem Reap Deputy Governor, Noni Ranzi, in addition to prosecutors and judges from the province who were there to better understand the implement of the UN's vision of equal rights for persons with disabilities. Secretary M. Chanmakara, who is also the Secretary General of the Disability Action Council, asked those in attendance to work together to ensure the freedom of PWDs by helping them avoid exploitation and violence and providing them with freedom of movement, independence and much needed services within their communities. He stated the Royal Government of Cambodia protects the rights of freedom of movement of the expression. He noted that PWDs have the rights to real estate ownership, inheritance rights, minimum wage and the right to register for government documents like driver's licenses and the newly released disability ID card. He said that the ministry has put a new law in place to address the issues faced by the deaf women who were tried to report abuse. He explained that in the past, women are often misunderstood or misinterpreted because they themselves did not know sign language, leaving interpreters struggling to do their jobs. He then thanked the OHCHR representative for responding to the ministry's request to provide training for the justice officials in various provinces. He also thanked Siem Reap's Deputy Governor for her contribution to disability rights, especially in the preparation of road signs to assist persons with disabilities. The Cambodian government says that the disability sector is a main priority in its new economic Pentagon strategy, along with women's rights. Through the National Disability Policy and the UN's law on the protection and the promotion of human rights, Cambodian officials have introduced a number of laws, regulations and policies to ensure non-discrimination, equal opportunities and full participation for persons with disabilities in society. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. French President Emmanuel Macron reaffirmed his government's commitment to assisting Cambodia in various fields during a meeting with Cambodian King Norodom Sihamoni in Paris yesterday. President Macron said that Cambodia would continue to receive assistance in the healthcare sector through human resource training, support for animal-to-human disease prevention programs, telesurgery, and the use of artificial intelligence. He also expressed his commitment to preserve and promote Cambodian culture, as seen through the project to restore and expand the National Museum, in addition to restoring a bronze statue of Vishnu to be displayed in France. He also promised to dispatch experts to Cambodia to study and renovate the Napoleon III Pavilion in the Royal Palace. The president also expressed France's support and encouragement for Cambodia to host the Francophonie Summit in 2026. The Organisation Internationale de la Francophonie, or OIF, is an international organization representing countries where French is spoken or where French culture has had a notable impact. The convention to create it was signed in 1970 by 21 states and governments, including the king's late father, King Norodom Sihanouk. It is currently comprised of 88 members who meet biannually to discuss topics centered on a particular theme. Next October, it is being held in France, with an invitation extended from the French president to the king yesterday. King Norodom Sihamoni expressed his gratitude for all the assistance provided by the French government towards Cambodia's economic and social development, especially when it comes to preserving the Angkor Wat archaeological site and Cambodia's cultural artifacts in general. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. The National Employment Agency collaborated with relevant institutions and agencies to host a two-day job fair at the Kope Convention Center over the weekend, where over 20,000 job opportunities were being presented. From November 10th through 11th, over 150 companies, manufacturing enterprises, public institutions, and training establishments provided opportunities for young people to seek employment and gain insights into the skill requirements of the job market. One of the booths at the job fair focused on pairing employers with people with disabilities. The PAFID, or People's Action for Inclusive Development booth, aims to provide employment accessibility in agriculture and leadership, and to provide them with more health access. International Director David Curtis highlighted some of the services provided at the booth.
If you don't have further education, to get into employment can be challenging, so many challenges. So we're working with some of our people with disabilities from urban and rural especially to try and develop CVs, have job interview skill practice, linking them up with employers.
He noted some of the challenges faced by people with disabilities in Cambodia when it comes to finding employment.
And some of the challenges can be around accessing education. So if you don't access education, it's hard to access further education. If you don't have further education, to get into employment can be challenging.
Mr. Curtis was hopeful for the fair's turnout, saying that a couple of people who had sought help at his booth had already found employment by the first morning of the event. 35-year-old Chia Pisset received help formatting his CV and preparing for a job interview at the PAFID booth.
ខ្ញុំយល់ឃើញថាល្អបងបាទទីមួយងាយស្រួលទៀតគាត់មកគឺគាត់ណែនាំយើងថា CV ត្រូវដាក់ម៉េចប្រាប់យើងទាំងអស់ព្រោះអីខ្ញុំយល់ឃើញថាគាត់អត់រើសអើងចំពោះជនពិការឯងសំខាន់លើសមត្ថភាពខ្លួនឯងបាទតែយើងមានសមត្ថភាពប៉ុណ្ណាអាហ្នឹងអាចធ្វើការបាន
Secretary General of Global Business Disability Network China Chapter, Haiben Zhu, was impressed with the large turnout of companies at the fair and said it shows their willingness to incorporate persons with disabilities into their work. He noted the value of such job fairs when it comes to bridging the gap between employers and employees.
For sometimes the company don't know what skill they have. And for people with disability, they are afraid which company will employ me. So there is some kind of a mismatch. So this kind of job fair match the both sides. So they know each other and then they can have successful employment.
By helping job seekers with disabilities, the organization helps raise their confidence so that they can have job interviews on site.
We find that the people with disabilities are going to be more confident, and when they see the employers welcome them, they also find that they have opportunity. I think this kind of confidence is very important, and for the Cambodia society, it's better that they find jobs and they have sustainable career future. It's good for Cambodia